Hello. I feel quite hot and crumpled because it's been a warm day. And also, I have taken my life into my own hands because there are cockatoos in the gum tree above me. There's a big gum tree that sort of spreads over the top of where I'm standing. Cockatoos in there dropping gum nuts from a great height. You can probably hear them falling. I'm going to stop talking and then they'll stop doing it. Nope, there went one. So I may get hit on the head with a gum nut shortly. We'll see. We'll see. And there's also Work in Progress Wednesday number 100, which is about 70 more than I expected to do. So I'm glad I stuck with it. Now, I don't have any way to celebrate that. I didn't buy a party hat. Should have bought a stack hat, actually. Anyway, this is off the loom. How exciting. I'm excited. When I say this is off the loom, I mean this is fresh off the loom. This came off the loom about an hour ago. It needs a little bit of work done before it's ready for wet finishing. I need to, for example, trim that fringe. It's a little longer than I want it. And I need to twist the fringes. And there are some float mistakes, which I just saw one. Here we go. So, showing you that very badly. So you can see there maybe that float there is going over the white, which I don't want it to do. So I'm going to go in and anchor those down. There's a few of those throughout, just where I haven't caught the threads properly. I will anchor those down with some of the thread, and then I will wet finish it and we will see what it looks like. But at the moment it looks like this. So I'm really pleased with the sort of blocky effect that I've got here. And I've done that just with the floats. So get that organised, get myself organised for once. So we've got these floats here which are breaking up the warp colour, and then that happens again there, but on this side I get the coloured squarish of the warp colour. Now, when I wet finish this, I don't know what's going to happen. These are two different yarn fibre contents. Two different fibre contents. That's what I meant to say. So there's going to be differences in the shrinkage, but I don't know what that difference is going to look like. I do feel like I'm going to get some texture, and I suspect that the cream will shrink more than the colour, because the coloured warp here is sock yarn, so it's probably got a little bit less shrinkage in it than the pure wool of the white or the cream. But it's off the loom and I'm very excited. So it's longer than I thought it was, which is probably why it took so long. I never know how long I've warped up, so it's always a surprise. So it is quite long and it looks, at the moment, really good. So I'll fix some of those floats, not all of them, because there's some little tiny floats that aren't worth fixing. But those longer ones I will sort out before I wet finish. And hopefully I can show you next week what it looks like having had a wash. I just got hit on the foot with a gum nut, so, you know, they're getting closer. Now, the other thing I had last week, I wanted to show you this first because I'm excited that it's off the loom. But I do have my metallic one from last week, so let me do a very smooth swap over of the two without even it's not even noticeable. There we go. Cram that back in the bag, hang that back on the tripod. There goes another gum nut. So this has been wet finished. It's not visually that much different. The warp didn't do anything. I mean, it did. It's sitting there looking shiny and beautiful. But the warp didn't, well, it did do a little bit. It bloomed a little bit, but the weft really bloomed. So the weft is the side to side, which was a charcoal grey wool, and that has bloomed to fill in the gaps. So it has become a more solid piece of fabric, but visually it looks much the same as it did last week because there's no added texture or anything like that. But it is done and it is ready to go and have whatever happens to it happen to it. The little loom I have not got any progress on because I did just knuckle down on what was on the big loom. So that looks the same as last week. I didn't bring it out because you saw it last week. It looks exactly the same. I don't have anything on the big loom. As I said, that came off quite recently and I haven't had time to warp it up. But also I have some sewing projects that I'm aiming to do, hopefully, over the next few days. I've got a dress that I want to make. I want to make a jacket because it's summer and I need to be warmer. So for the time being, the plan is to clear off the weaving table, turn it back into a sewing table and make a couple of things with the sewing machine before I get back into the weaving. So next week, I will either have given up on that idea and warped up the loom, or I will be able to show you something that I'm sewing. We will find out together. It will be exciting. And that is all I have for you this week. I'm going to go inside and have a big drink of cold water and possibly stick my head in a bucket of water, cool water. Not my whole head, just my face area, because it is warm and I'm unhappy about it. These gum nuts are getting closer, so I'm starting to feel like these cockatoos have a hit out on me, so I'm going to go inside. You have a lovely rest of your week. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.